Coming up tonight, it's the battle for first place in the WAC as the Wolverines of Utah Valley entertain the Cougars from Chicago State. First place in the WAC, it's all coming your way next right here on UVU TV. Welcome to Orem, Utah, on the campus of UVU, the UCCU Center to be exact, where Chicago State is in the house. They take on the Wolverines tonight. Hello again, everybody. Jim McCullough along with Matt Peterson. First place in the WAC on the line, Matt. Wolverines undefeated. Chicago State just one game behind. Nothing gets the juices flowing for players like a game like this.
Yeah, it's going to be a real treat for us and for the fans tonight, because it is unusual to see this early on in the season a matchup of teams so high in the standings. The Wolverines at 5-0, Chicago State close behind at 4-1. Wolverines having won 6 straight games. They're playing with an awful lot of momentum. Chicago State is going to realize the importance of this conference game on the road. They don't want to fall 2 games behind the Wolverines.
And both these teams are playing pretty doggone good basketball. In fact, the Wolverines are playing their best basketball of the season. They lost 5 in a row earlier this season, but now all of a sudden, nobody can stop them. They've won 6 in a row. It seems like, and they're doing it a lot of different ways, inside, outside, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, everybody has contributed, and they've had players step up at key moments. And what's been big for me is that they've done it at home, but they've also gone on the road and won conference games as well. So they have done it in a numerous amount of ways, and it's really fun to watch, and they're playing with a huge amount of confidence.
And it's like a different player for the Wolverines, as we're seeing highlights here. Every night, somebody else steps up, like you said.
Every night, you're going to have Ben Aird one night, Zach Nelson another night, Mitch Brunel, Hayes Garrity, Holden Hunsaker. All these guys are playing great. They may not all play great in the same game, but they do have those great individual games.
And Chicago State, 4-1 in the WAC. They're coming off an 8-point victory Thursday night in Bakersfield. They're playing some good ball. This is highlights from these two going at it last year, and very physical.
These teams have a history. This play right here is the epitome of this relationship. Diving on the floor, fighting for the basketball. It's going to be a physical game from the tip to the last whistle. That's how these teams have played in their past, and it should be no different tonight.
All right, so key players tonight for the Wolverines, Matt.
Yeah, starting off, we're going to look at Mitch Brunel. He's playing with a great amount of confidence. 18.5 points per game in 2 wins last week, and going to the free throw line and knocking down some huge free throws at Seattle. Zach Nelson is going to play a big role tonight. He's a freshman inside. Last game he had 12 rebounds and 5 blocks on Thursday. He is a big key to their defensive success.
And for Chicago State?
Chicago State, we're going to take a look at Quentin Pippen.
Yeah.
He leads the team in scoring. He's averaging 18.4 a game in these WAC conference games, and on the season he's attempted and he shot 141 three-point attempts, so that's part of his game. You got Matt Ross, senior forward. He's averaging almost 12 points a game, a little over 7 rebounds a game as well, and coming off a good game on Thursday night, 14 points at Cal State Bakersfield. So those 2 players for Chicago State, we know that they're going to carry the load offensively. Let's see how the Wolverines match up against them.
So for the Wolverines to win this thing, the keys you're looking for?
Yeah, they've got to keep Pippen in check. Like we said, he's their leading scorer. He's going to take a lot of threes. He's going to be very aggressive. So how they guard him, how they keep him in check is huge. They've got to take care of the basketball. The Wolverines are very good when they don't turn the ball over and control the backboards. The team that probably comes away with the most rebounds tonight is going to be the team that wins, because you just give yourselves more and more opportunities. So let's look and see how those three things play out tonight.
And the Wolverines had 50 rebounds, as in 50 on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to step aside real quick, take a break in our Costa Vida pregame show. When we get back, starting lineups and your opening tip coming your way. First place on the line here in Orem, Utah. Coming up next on UVU TV.
Brave and bold, silver and gold.
We're on a mission. Aggie up.
Bronx Country just got a whole lot bigger.
Mighty Wolverines of UVU.
Join the herd. Lopes up.
Bold moves, big season, grew up.
We are the new gold standard.
We will be champions.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
I hate math. I can't count how many times I've heard people say that. And as a math teacher, I take it personally. So, while working on my master's at UVU, I developed ways to help kids not hate math. Does engaged learning make a difference? You do the math.
Welcome back to Orem. Starting lineups now. First of all, for Chicago State, that's Corey Gray going to start at guard, senior from Houston, Texas, averaging 6.6 a game. Eddie Denard starts at forward, a 6'6 senior from Chicago. There goes their leading scorer, Quentin Pippen, averaging 8th best in the WAC, 15.2 a game. Then Clark Rosenberg's going to start at another guard spot, 6'3 junior out of Illinois. And then Matt Ross will start at forward, 6'8 senior from Dixon, Illinois, averaging 12 points a game. Chicago State comes in here averaging 70 points a game, but they're giving up a WAC worst 78 points a game defensively. They're coached by Tracy Dildy in his 4th season at Chicago State. We'll talk more about Coach Dildy as the evening goes on. This is the 13th meeting between Utah Valley and Chicago State. UVU has won 9 of those first 12 meetings. And did you play against Chicago State back in the day, young man? Or do you remember that far?
I don't remember that far back.
Well, if you did, you won here, but you lost there because Chicago State has never lost to UVU in Chicago.
I never played at Chicago, so that must answer that question.
Okay. Let me rephrase that. Chicago State has never won in Utah.
Sure.
Okay, that makes more sense. Last year, Chicago State won by 8 in Chicago, and UVU won by 7 here in Orem. And Chicago State's having a pretty good season. They're 9-10 overall. They were 9-21 last year, so they've already got as many wins this year as they had all of last year. All right, let's talk about the Wolverines of Utah Valley. They are 11-7 overall. They're 8-1 at home. They've only lost 1 home game so far this year, and they are a perfect 5-0 in the WAC. We talked about that before the break. UVU in 1st place, Chicago State in 2nd place. Wolverines are going to start the same 5 this game that they've started all 18 games prior to tonight. What a luxury to have 3 seniors, 1 junior, 1 freshman who are this durable to be able to make these starts. Keavi Enos, 6'1 senior from Mesa, Arizona, averaging just under 8 points a game, will start at guard. Holton Hunsaker, who with this start tonight becomes the all-time leader in starts at UVU. He averages a team high 12.1 a game. He's a senior. There's Mitch Brunel, 6'5" junior, averaging 10.5 points a game. He's out of Boise, Idaho. Zach Nelson is the freshman. What a freshman year he's having. 11 points a game, 6.5 rebounds. He's from Yuba City, California, 6'7". And then the big man inside, Big Ben Aird. Big Ben, 11.7 a game and 7.5 rebounds a game. He's 6'9", a senior from Bountiful, Utah. And just let you in on a secret, he's really 6'10". They list him at 6'9", but he's really 6'10". Enos, Hunsaker, Brunel, Nelson, and Aird, they average 68.5 points a game. They're number 1 in the WAC in defense scoring. They only give up 65 points to these Wolverines. They are coached by Dick Hunsaker in his 12th season here at UVU, where he's got 212 wins against just 135 losses. Utah Valley in first place. Chicago State in second place. This game, Matt, would go a long way. Yeah, I know you still got 10 games left after tonight for the Wolverines, but it would go a long way for the Wolverines to have a 2-game lead in the WAC standings.
Yeah, and I think both teams will definitely realize that coming in. And it's probably more important for the Wolverines at this stage because they still have to go on the road to Chicago State to play. So Chicago State comes in thinking, hey, if we play our best, we can maybe steal one. The Wolverines know we have to hold serve and win at home tonight.
We're underway here in Orem. Chicago State with possession.
And the Chicago State lineup is a smaller lineup. The biggest player, Matt Ross, 6'8", on the for Chicago State. So going to be a lot of perimeter play, I feel, from the Cougars early on.
Experience, though, 4 seniors and 1 junior. And Zach Nelson steps in front of a pass. First possession for Chicago State results in 2 turnovers. 1 against Chicago State, 1 against UVU. Chicago State misses a couple of shots. UVU comes away with it.
We talked about one of the keys, or at least key players, was Zach Nelson and how he kind of keys the defensive effort. That play is exactly why. He recovers, takes the ball away, even though the Wolverines turned it over.
Brunel's first touch gives over to Hunsaker. We're a minute deep here in Orem. No score yet. Zach Nelson will take the 3 and bury it.
Yeah, so much attention was focused on Ben Aird inside. He had a switch. He was posting up inside, and Chicago State never really got their defense set, and Zach just finding space.
And that's a nice change from Thursday night, where the Wolverines came out ice cold, didn't score a point for the first, 4 minutes of the game.
1 of 10 at one point.
Jumper outside, no good. Ball on the floor picked up by Chicago State. Corey Gray tracked that one down. So fresh shot clock to work with for the Cougars. Three from Pippen. You talked in the pregame show about Pippen's ability to launch threes from just about anywhere.
Well, and how they guard it's going to be key. That time it was, they came up and set an on-ball screen for him, and he just immediately shot the 3.
Shot blocked. Ben Aird got it back. Fall away jumper is good.
Yeah, no surprise. I think the Wolverines probably going to look at this smaller lineup and try and establish an inside presence to start the game. And even though the 1-3 from Zach, they're looking to go inside.
5-0 early. 3 outside. Well, Chicago State not shy about putting up the 3s. They hit 34% of them on the season.
And they've attempted 382, so you're right. I mean, that's led by Quentin Pippen at that 141. Well, now 142 with his 3 already, but they are not shy. And so what that means is you got a defensive rebound. Long shots, long rebounds. We've already seen the Wolverines give up that 1 offensive rebound in an extra possession.
Corey Gray called for the first foul of the game. And the ball was kicked that time by Matt Ross. Wolverines still have nearly their entire shot clock to work with. 2.5 minutes deep, Wolverines leading 5-0.
Similar to what we saw from Kansas City on Thursday night. Sometimes that ball goes on the perimeter. They're going to look to trap. That's what Chicago State did. So Wolverine offensive players, be aware of constant pressure, constant trapping.
Brunel inside, working. They'll call it held ball, possession arrow, UVU.
Mitch with a clear size advantage on him. Corey Gray guarding, he's listed as 5'11", Mitch at 6'5", so that's why you get Mitch on that last play, posting up inside, trying to get an early easy basket.
Ben Aird inside, nice move by the big man. He didn't score at all in the first half on Thursday night, came back strong in the second half, but he's already got 2 tonight.
Yeah, and he's working hard inside. You know, nothing will motivate you knowing that you have a size advantage inside, and it's clear that's what the Wolverines are doing.
Denard, no shot. Wolverines out quickly, 7-0. Chicago State taking their time. Baseline jumper. Hunsaker with a rebound. Inside to Nelson, stripped away. Turnover. Chicago State, to me, Matt, looks like they're willing to play the perimeter game right now.
Absolutely. I mean, look at this. Nearly every possession is 5 guys out, setting screens. They're just trying to drive like that. Nice finish there from Eddie Denard, but they're trying to spread the court, give themselves space, come off screens if it's there, or take jump shots or drive like that.
Well, it took Chicago State almost 4 minutes to get their first basket. 7-2 Wolverines.
Look inside, you've got a mismatch. Zach Nelson being guarded by Corey Gray. Let's see if the Wolverines, Zach's working inside.
Well, they tried to lob it over the 5'11" Corey Gray. Backside help came that time from Matt Ross. Here's another 3. Chicago State starts 1 of 8 from the floor. Ben Aird has the pass slapped away. Rosenberg takes that one, slams it home.
And one thing that Chicago State is doing on the turnover there, they get the dunk, but then they also, Coach Dildy is yelling 11-11, which probably means some type of a full court man-to-man press or trap when the opportunity presents itself. So off of made baskets, they're extending pressure the full length of the floor.
Wolverines have already turned it over 4 times. What a nice play. Ben Aird, wonderful assist to Mitch Brunel.
And Chicago State is extending their half-court pressure. So how you alleviate that is by backdoors, by a lot of movement, a design play there. Ball goes to the high post to Ben. Mitch Brunel cutting from the wing, and too much pressure, and the defender not able to recover.
In traffic, Denard couldn't get it to go. Ben Aird with a rebound. Hunsaker looking for help. Gets it over to Keawe Enos. UVU has already turned it over 4 times here in the early going, Matt.
Yeah.
First 6 minutes.
And that was one of our keys.
Yeah.
They got to take care of the ball. Luckily, Chicago State hasn't been able to convert.
Keawe Enos, one of the best 3-point shooters in the WAC, nails the 3, and UVU out in front, 12-4. We need a timeout. We'll take it with them. Back in 60 here on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Hi, my name is Tony. I'm a student with UVU Automotive, and this is my classroom. At UVU, you can graduate with a diploma and a resume.
I hate math. I can't count how many times I've heard people say that. And as a math teacher, I take it personally. So, while working on my master's at UVU, I developed ways to help kids not hate math. Does engaged learning make a difference? You do the math.
Back in Orem, you didn't miss anything except the inbounds pass. Chicago State trailing Utah Valley 12-4. Baseline jumper is missed by Denard. Wolverines with the rebound.
Again, that spreading their offense, trying to give themselves space, trying to get some one-on-one matchups that they like to play one-on-one basketball. That time a nice pass out, but Chicago State is cold from the field.
Meanwhile, Wolverines red hot. They've only missed one shot here in the opening half. Keavi. Yeah, I jinxed him. Sorry, Keavi. They've now missed two. It's 12-4. On the run, Zach Nelson with a block, but back up and in Rosenberg.
You know, it's interesting, Jim. We talked about these keys to the game. One of the keys was for the Wolverines to control the glass, and they've got to control the backboards. And a couple times so far, they've given up offensive rebounds, whether or not being back in transition or what. But that's given Chicago State life, is when they get those offensive rebounds and extra opportunities.
12.5 minutes left. Opening frame. Nelson fouled on his way to the hole. He'll shoot two. This foul is going to go against Quentin Pippen. His first, team's second. So now we have yet another media timeout with 12:28 to play. First half, 12-6. Wolverines out in front by 6.
Come join the student section and cheer for the mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
Wolverines leading Chicago State by 6 here in the early going. Another low-scoring game. The Wolverines love low-scoring games. Most of their wins have come in very low-scoring games. Ben Aird, by the way, Matt, 5 rebounds already. 15 is his career high, and well, we're just 7.5 minutes deep into this game. He's already got 5.
Yeah, and he's got an advantage inside. We've said that a couple times, but he has a size advantage inside. Going to get this last replay here. Zach Nelson, nice crossover dribble on the perimeter as he was being guarded by Matt Ross. A nice job of getting some space and not converting the shot, but getting to the line.
Zach misses the first. If there's a flaw in this freshman's game, it is his free throw shooting, where he's just 59%. But when you have somebody like Mitch Brunel rebounding your misses, all is forgiving. Keavi can't get it down. Chicago State comes away with it. Three from outside makes it 12-9. Utah Valley's lead is cut to 3.
Again, more full court pressure here. They're going to looks like maybe just a 1-2-2 or a 2-2-1 type pressure, looking to trap in the corners if the ball ever gets there, but the Wolverines handle it well.
11:45 on the first half game clock. Wolverines with a 3-point lead. Make it 6. Mitch Brunel from the corner. 15-9.
Yeah, the Wolverines are getting great ball movement. The ball is not sticking in one person's hands at any point in their offensive possessions. They're passing, they're cutting, they're moving. That time you get that ball rotating all the way around the perimeter, and Mitch with the corner threes. So they've had success so far when they move, when they rotate that ball, they can get some really good shots.
Well, we told you earlier, these two teams love to battle each other. UVU's done pretty well at home. Chicago State's done great at their place lately. Last year, Chicago State, in fact, were the Great West Conference tournament champs, winning it at home. But this year, not a bad road team. In fact, their 4-1 conference record, 3 of those wins have come on the road.
And they've definitely got off to a slow start tonight, reminiscent of Thursday night against Kansas City, where at one point they were 2 of 10. Chicago State is, before that last 3 by Pippen, were shooting a very low percentage, so they'll likely get a little bit more rhythm offensively.
Zach Nelson with the steal. He'll take it all the way. Kid doesn't play like a freshman, does he?
No, and that's just like the play he had against Kansas City, as we get a defensive blocking foul here as Chicago State looking to push that ball, but very similar to the play we saw coast-to-coast dunk on Thursday night. What a wonderful finish there from Zach.
Foul against Mitch Brunel. When we get back, Chicago State at the line.
They say the devil is in the details. And in here, there are a lot of details. Flavor, color, texture, temperature, presentation. It all has to be flawless. Pressure? Maybe. But with engaged learning, I get a lot of practice. And I'll bet your homework never tasted this good.
Come join the student section and cheer for the Mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
Here in Orem, Utah, home of Utah Valley University. Dick Hunsaker, the head coach. They are NCAA Division I. They had been junior college. They had been they went straight from junior college to Division I. They never were Division II. Brand new members of the WAC. Willie the Wolverines, their mascot, green and gold are the colors here, and 32,000 students attending UVU this semester. Right at largest school, university in the state of Utah.
Every time I come to the campus too, Jim, it seems like there's always another building being built or something's going up to accommodate all those students, so it's fun to see.
Brand new student center, or in addition to the student center being built, as well as a ginormous classroom building going up. 17-9, Utah Valley out in front of Chicago State right now. 11 minutes left in this first half. Rosenberg trying to challenge Ben Aird inside. Foul's going to go against Big Ben. It'll be his first. Second foul called against the Wolverines.
Yeah, you see the drive there. That should have been a foul on Holton, it looks like. I'm not sure where the foul on Ben was, but
Holton even raised his hand, old school style.
Definitely Holton should have been called for the foul there, but
Rosenberg with the free throw. The only junior starter on the Chicago State team. 4 seniors and 1 junior starting. Rosenberg on the season, 81% free throw shooter. Got the first, missed the second.
And that's 4 offensive rebounds now. I know it's early, and again, just another opportunity, but a turnover here.
Hayes Garrity. Wow. What a move by the sophomore.
You know, the body control on that shot and finish is incredible. We saw it a couple of plays earlier from Zach as we get the action quickly going back for Chicago State, but the body control that Zach showed on his layup in transition, the body control and finish from Hayes there. it goes unnoticed, but it's still very, very impressive.
Hayes Garrity averaging 11 points a game may just be not only the fastest Wolverine, but probably the best six-man in the WAC here in the first couple of weeks at least. He has replaced Keavi Enos in that starting lineup. The other four starters have played the entire first half, and we're halfway through it.
Yep, here you go, Jim. You know, an offensive set here, but it's 5 out, no one inside, no one looking to post up.
Pippen misses the three. Garrity with the rebound.
Yeah, again, he will shoot from any distance, and he's not afraid to shoot it coming off of a screen in transition. He's hit one tonight, but the ball goes inside and turnover.
UVU's 5th turnover here in the first half. Turnaround jumper, no good from Duhan. Back up and in, though, from Rosenberg. Wolverines by 7. Rosenberg has 7 points of Chicago State's 12. Meanwhile, for Utah Valley, 5 each for Brunel and Nelson, 4 for Ben Aird, 3 Keavi, 2 for Garrity. That's how the Wolverines got their 19. And Garrity to Ben Aird, partially blocked on the way up. They're called a foul. A little late whistle there. Still waiting to see who that's on. That's going to be on Matt Ross.
Yeah, it looked like there was some body contact on the ground before Ben went up. That got him moving away from the basket, but then I think they called him. He swiped in at the last minute, and
wow.
I believe that's where they called the foul.
First foul on Ross, 3rd team foul against Chicago State. Ben Aird at the line, 72% free throw shooter. Wolverines did not miss a free throw on Thursday night. Tonight, they start 0 for 3. In fact, might as well say it now. Looks like it's going to drop. The Wolverines currently are the 11th best free throw shooting team in the nation in Division I. Going to have to make up for this 0-3 start, though. See, the jinx works both ways.
You have your magic ways of doing things. I'm not going to interfere.
That's right. I have like Jedi powers over a basketball with just words. It's amazing. 20-12, Wolverines by 8.
This is common here. You see Pippen taking the ball away from the screen, but they're almost going up and setting 2 screens on the ball.
Look at Garrity's speed right here. Just blows by everybody.
Again, Jim, the body control, the ability to read where the defender is, and he's fearless in doing that in transition. Just moving the ball as he's in the air, avoiding contact, and strong finish.
Outside jumper from Kurt Karras. Wolverines with yet another rebound. It's their 14th rebound so far. Ben Aird has 6 of those. 8 minutes left, first half.
Look at this pressure, all the way up to the half-court line. They're trying to deny the point guards, denying the ball from getting in Hayes' hands, from Holton's hands, and Keavi's hands. And the pressure is outside, again, in the passing lane, almost a turnover. Chicago State is very aggressive from their guards.
4 seconds on the shot clock. Keavi knows it, puts up the jumper. Nothing but silk. UVU has doubled up Chicago State, 24-12. UVU has not trailed in this game. The closest it was 3 points when it was 12-9. And when we get back from this timeout, we'll watch a couple of free throws. 7:17 to play, Wolverines by 12.
I don't think of myself as just an undergrad. Okay, so I'm a sophomore, but I'm at UVU where it's all about engaged learning. Leading a project on DNA research, I don't have to wait for grad school to get this kind of experience. As a UVU student, I guess you could say engaged learning is in my DNA.
Bus pass, $5. UVU t-shirt so you can impress the ladies, $25. iPod Nano, $120. A degree from UVU so you can afford your own car someday. Priceless. For everything else, there's student loans.
Wolverines of Utah Valley leading Chicago State 24-12. Chicago State located south side of Chicago. Tracy Dildy, we talked about him being the head coach. They are the Cougars. They are also brand new members of the WAC, joining UVU from the Great West Conference this year. And green and white, 2 green and white teams on the floor tonight, although Chicago State wearing their traveling black uniforms. This is the second road game in a row. They played at Bakersfield Thursday night, and I'm assuming they probably wore their green jerseys then, wearing the black ones tonight. Meanwhile, UVU, the luxury of sleeping in their own beds, having their staff wash those nice white jerseys.
Yep.
That foul before he went to break was on Hayes Garrity, his first, team's third. Both teams have been whistled for 3 each. Free throw missed by Kirk Harris. He'll have another one. He's a freshman from Northbrook, Illinois. We talked about Chicago State having 7 seniors. They've only got 1 junior on their roster, 2 sophomores, and 3 freshmen. So they're a very experienced team. But Tracy Dildy's got his hands full for next year. Got to recruit a bunch of guys to replace 7 departing seniors. Keavi Enos gathered in the missed free throw. It remains 24-12. Brendan Evans looking for Chad Ross up top. Wolverines substitution pattern now. Taylor Brown also into the game. Keavi Enos, the only starter still on the floor. But Hayes Garrity, my goodness.
Well, and what I love most about what Hayes is doing is he's aggressive. You know, he's not settling for any outside shot. Keavi had to drive the last possession, but the guards are driving. They're not settling.
That time, collision between Eddie Denard and Chad Ross. Ross comes up hobbling for a second.
Yeah, watch Chad hustle over, get his feet set.
Charge is the call.
Yeah, just a nice job of awareness. You saw that initial look that we had on the replay of how much space there was in the paint, but Chad with a nice job of closing that space and drawing the charge.
Wolverines have scored 7 straight points. A little backcourt pressure now from Chicago State. Garrity will get it across the stripe, no problem. Still 22 seconds on the shot clock to work with for UVU.
And I think Coach Dildy realizes that the man-to-man defense wasn't working. They're now switching to a 2-3 zone.
Keavi wide open for 3. Missed that one. Chicago State with a rebound.
Maybe just kind of a 1-possession thing where you switch it up, but they were definitely in a 2-3 zone on that possession, and they forced the miss.
Wolverines shooting 65% in this first half. And a whistle inside.
I think the foul's going to be on Keavi.
What did he do? Keavi Enos is called for the foul. What did he do?
There was either a screen that was set. He tried to knock off the man who was coming off the screen a little bit. You see him guarding in the paint here. He's going to go up and set an up screen, and as that screen was coming down, Keavi just body chucked him there. So good call there from the official. You're taught to do that. I mean, that's
what?
Well, not maybe to that degree, but you're taught to not make the path all the way down the lane that easy. So at least give some contact, but gotta be a little aggressive there.
Did you play for the Broncos?
Yeah.
Denver? Or? Okay. 5:45 left, first half. Wolverines out in front by 14. This is their biggest lead of this first half. They've led the entire half. 12 seconds to shoot for Chicago State. Long jumper way outside from Rosenberg. And Ross tried to get it back up. Wolverines come away with it though. It's a 5-on-3 break right now. Taylor Brown feeds inside. Brendan Evans missed it, but a foul is going to go against Eddie Denard. That'll be the second foul against Denard and the team's 5th against Chicago State.
Yeah, I love the unselfish, but look how wide open Taylor is. He could have taken that shot, but he realized it was a 5-on-3, as you said. You had Chad Ross posting up, Brendan Evans running, spurring the middle of the floor and passing it inside. So good unselfish play. The tendency would be to shoot that 3, but nice job of being patient and getting the ball inside.
Well, it's a good thing the Wolverines are shooting 65% from the floor, because they've only hit 1 out of 6 or 1 out of 5 free throws, rather.
Yeah, they have really struggled at the line. On Thursday night, if I'm remembering correctly, they didn't shoot a free throw until about 3 minutes left in the first half. So at least they're getting there tonight. They just haven't knocked them down.
8-0 run for UVU. Chicago State's last basket came 4.5 minutes ago. 5 minutes left here in this opening frame. Duhan. Garrity to Evans. Off the glass. He's fouled. He'll shoot 2 more. That foul's going to go against Matt Ross. His 3rd personal foul.
And again, you have the bigs running strong. I mean, you see Hayes pull the defender up. Brendan Evans running wide, getting the right angle coming into the basket, and he goes up strong and gets fouled. But both Chad and Brendan are doing a nice job of running with the guards for the Wolverines. The last 2 possessions, we've seen them be in position, and
the officials,
maybe you could do the reverse free throw jinx right here.
Yeah,
Jim.
reverse
How's that?
No. By the way, the official score changed that. It's only a 2nd foul against Ross. Matt Ross picks up foul number 2, but it was the 6th team foul. 28-12, 9-0 run for UVU, who went on a 20-1 run Thursday night on this floor against Kansas City. And one official was going to let that go. The other official comes in and says, no, that's over and back.
Yeah, that's clearly an over and back.
2 out of 3 officials agree. So it will be Utah Valley basketball. 4.5 minutes to play, first half. UVU 28-12 lead. Ben Aird, Zach Nelson, Mitch Brunel back in. Evans, Ross, and Taylor Brown to the bench. Holton Hunsaker also out there. So with the exception of Keavi Enos, Wolverines have 4 out of 5 starters on the floor, and Hayes Garrity.
And again, Jim, 2-3 zone, so no more man-to-man. See how the Wolverines handle the 2-3 pressure.
Holton for 3, missed that one. Chicago State with it. Wolverines have only hit half of their 3-pointers here in the first half, 3 out of 6. Chicago State, though, they've put up 8 of them and just made 1. Make it 1 out of 9. Gray missing that one. We got to come up with a nickname for Hayes Garrity. Although I hear some of the players, oh, what's going on here?
I think they found there's some type of paper or something on the ground. Came from somewhere.
So there was something on the floor. The official saw it and called a timeout. That brings us to immediate timeout. Wolverines by 16. We'll take a break. Come back with the rest of our first half.
People talk about life after college, you know, entering the real world. But this is engaged learning. I'm not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. I'm learning by doing. I'm at UVU. I'm in the real world every day.
Bus pass, $5. UVU t-shirt so you can impress the ladies, $25. iPod Nano, $120. A degree from UVU so you can afford your own car someday. Priceless. For everything else, their student loans.
Wolverines leading by 16 points, 28-12. There's Willie the Wolverine. I think that's an old teammate of yours, right?
I've got a couple who I think it might be.
Hey, coming up at halftime, we're going to be talking to one of the deans here on the UVU campus. Dean Michael Savoie will join us. Tonight is TNC night here. 2,000 glow sticks were passed out to folks coming in, courtesy of the College of Technology and Computing. And we'll talk to Dean Savoie as well as give some folks a look at some pretty exciting things that are happening around here in the College of TNC. All that coming up at halftime. Right now, the Wolverines doing a heck of a job defensively. Chicago State shooting a paltry 19% from the floor in the first half.
Yeah, 5 of 26 from the field, 1 of 9 from the 3, 1 of 4 from the line. It's just not been their night so far.
Holton got a long 2. It's 30-12. They're saying that's just a 2. Official score not still hasn't. The official score in front of us says 31-12, but it's really 30-12. It was not a three-pointer. Coming up on 3 minutes left here in the first half. Wolverines way out in front. It's an 11-0 run. Scoop shot. Nope. He stepped on the baseline first. Rosenberg getting a little too anxious on that one.
Pretty good defense there from Ben. You know, Rosenberg, a lot smaller, a lot quicker than Ben, but a nice job of Ben keeping Rosenberg in front of him.
Garrity misses from outside. Brunel with a rebound. Wolverines have pulled down 19 rebounds here in the first half. Oh, Brunel thought about a 3 that time. 22 seconds on the shot clock. Now the Wolverines playing a little perimeter passing game. Inside Ben, turnaround jump hook won't go. Pippen comes away with it. Takes it all the way. Gets some contact. Pippen stays down. Looks like he's all right. Tough kid. Quentin Pippen is, by the way, that name familiar? Nephew of Scottie Pippen, who played for the Chicago Bulls. Has several championship rings. Quentin Pippen, one of the 7 seniors on this team. He's from Hamburg, Arkansas.
You see the drive there. One thing that Chicago State has done a lot of tonight, there haven't been a whole lot of misses from the Wolverines, but when there are and Chicago State has an opportunity, it's pushing that ball in transition. They're trying to get easy baskets. They're trying to catch the Wolverines off guard. You know, they only have 2 fast break points, speaking of Chicago State. So the Wolverines have done a nice job on their missed baskets or turnovers. They've done a good job of getting back in transition defense and not allowing Chicago State to convert.
Yeah, I'll say those are the first points for Chicago State in 7 minutes. 30-14. Wolverines have gone cold. And Chicago State starting to light it up a little bit.
That's just what we said, Jim. You know, you get a long shot from Hayes. He doesn't convert. The Wolverines get back, but you know, off of the strong push and hard push from Quentin there, and you're going to get a blocking foul on Rosenberg. But when the opportunities that they have, they're trying to get quick, fast offensive points, and that time Pippen just pulls up for the 3.
It's a 1-and-1 for Holton Hunsaker. For Rosenberg, his first foul, team's 7th. That last foul against UVU, by the way, was on Ben Aird, his 2nd, so he'll go to the bench. I doubt we'll see him again the last minute 43 of this first half. Holton Hunsaker buries the first one. Notice how I was very quiet about talking about Holton there?
Yeah, that was good, Jim. We needed that.
Yeah, thank you. I think the guys in the booth are just muting my mic now whenever Holton goes to the free throw line, because I tend to jinx the young man. Let's put it that way. 32-17. this margin surprise you, Matt?
A little bit. I mean, we talked about how Chicago State, how good they were in conference on the road. Just it hasn't been there for them offensively, and again, another long three-point shot. They're just struggling offensively. They can't get anything going.
They're 2 of 11 from beyond the arc. 6 of 28 overall in this first half. It's good for 21% as Chicago State. Meanwhile, Utah Valley has actually cooled off to 54.5% shooting.
Well, an interesting point too is that I think the 2-3 zone has really slowed down the Wolverines. You're going to get a foul there on number 11, Jaron DeMarcos, but I think the 2-3 zone has served a purpose for Chicago State because, as you said, they've cooled down a little bit. They're not in their offensive rhythm that they were. Watch this high-low pass. You get Zach right at the free throw line. Brennan Evans finding space, ducking in, sealing off that defender on the block, and gets the foul. But just to finish up the point with the 2-3 zone, they're making sure that the foul is on 11.
DeMarcos, yeah.
DeMarcos, but yeah, that zone has served its purpose.
Brennan Evans at the free throw line. See if the Wolverines can. Okay, I'm not going to say anything again. Okay, really. Just mute my mic for the whole game, evidently.
There we go. Would you just be quiet during free throws?
Hey, you're not the first person to tell me that. Take a number, pal. Oh, Mitch Brunel tips it out, and Holton comes crashing into me.
That was a good catch, Jim. You caught the TV from going overboard, computer, water bottles, yourself. That was nice. Well
okay,
done.
that's
here we go. Here's the replay. We're gonna get some FaceTime here.
Holton, I'm going to jinx you the next time you go to the line, pal.
Matt Ross with a post up there. One of the few opportunities we've seen for an inside post up and finish, but Matt Ross getting it inside.
33 seconds on the game clock, 23 on the shot clock, so the Wolverines will have to put it up with about 8 or 9 seconds remaining. And a whistle away from the basketball.
Yeah, I think Quentin Pippen's going to get called for a foul.
Yep.
He body checked, similar to what we saw from Chiave, but Zach Nelson making a simple cut across the lane, and Quentin Pippen just stepped in the way and body chucked him.
Wolverines 6 of 13 from the free throw line. But the good news is they're 55% shooting from the floor. Inside. Second effort from Matt Ross. 7 seconds. Now there is some court awareness by a freshman. Zach Nelson knowing exactly how long it takes him to go from point A to the basket. And looked up at the shot clock at midcourt, and I thought, well, he's just going to put it up from there.
Yeah.
He took it to the hole. Very nice finish.
Made some terrific moves along the way. Ball fakes. Again, just nice body control and strong finish.
Wolverines leading by 14 at halftime, 35-21. And just for your information, the Wolverines are 9-1 this season when leading at half. Hey, coming up again after this break, we'll be talking to the Dean of the College of Technology and Computing and look at some pretty cool video. You don't want to miss this one. Stay around. You're watching UVU TV.
I'm Patty Garcia, a geology student at UVU, and this is Engaged Learning. At UVU, I'm learning by doing.
Welcome to Utah Valley University, home to an educational philosophy that engages its students in hands-on, practical education. I invite you to learn more about one of Utah's largest, fastest growing, and most dynamic universities.
Back at the UCCU Center on the campus of Utah Valley University, the Wolverines of Utah Valley leading Chicago State by 14 at halftime. Pretty impressive first half. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But I want to tell you folks about one of the greatest colleges that is housed here at UVU. It's the College of Technology and Computing. They call themselves TNC. 9 programs, including some really cool stuff. Take a look at this.
Welcome to Utah Valley University. My name is Michael Savoy, and I'm the Dean of the College of Technology and Computing, or as we affectionately know it, TNC. I want to welcome you to one of the most beautiful places on earth. As you can see behind me, we have mountains in the backdrop, we have a lake on the other side, snowboarding, skiing, hiking and biking, anything you need. And oh, by the way, you can get a really good education here as well. But let me give you a quick introduction to TNC and show you how you get a real degree that will help you land a terrific job. We offer some of the most dynamic and vigorous programs in the country. With over 4,000 students and an award-winning faculty of dedicated professionals, we have become the place for not only students to come to get an education, but also the place for employers to come and find some of the best trained, most qualified employees in the nation. Our programs here at TNC include one of the top automotive technology programs in the nation. Here students learn everything from engine repair to diesel mechanics to paint shop processes, all the way to how to take an old clunker and turn it into a hot rod. And if you're really good, you can be on the Wolverine racing team, which holds 5 world land speed records out at the Bonneville Salt Flats. Talk about graduating with a great resume. Or how about our computer science program? With state-of-the-art computer labs, our students learn the latest and greatest on a variety of devices and platforms. Whether you're interested in computer engineering, software development, or designing the next hot video game, we'll teach you everything you need to know. Our computer science graduates are being hired by some pretty big name companies. One of our students recently won the title of top computer programmer in the nation. Or if you want a real hands-on program, check out our construction technology department. If you want to supervise construction sites or manage commercial projects, or be a dependable home builder, then this is the place for you. Our students are truly involved in the community, annually building a Habitat for Humanity home. Our construction competition teams have brought home first place trophies for several straight years. We are also home to the Culinary Arts Institute, which is turning out some of the greatest chefs in the country. The last 3 years have seen our students win top regional and national awards. For many of our culinary students, this is where they learn everything they need to open their own restaurants or catering companies. And don't forget about our digital media program. This truly is one of the most popular programs on campus. And no wonder, as they turn out award-winning movies, video games, and other products. Many of our digital media students are offered jobs before they even graduate. Then there's our Engineering, Graphics, and Design Technology department, training the newest generation of engineers, architects, and surveyors. If you're interested in drafting, surveying, geomatics, 3D modeling, CAD, or architectural drawing, we have great 3D printer technology as well, in case you're into that. Or if you're interested in robotics or mechatronics or going into engineering, then you should check out our Engineering Technology department. We've got some of the most advanced lab equipment in the entire state of Utah. This is truly a resume building environment. And our Information Systems and Technology department always seems to have more job offers than we can fill. Jobs like software developers, programmers, digital forensics investigators. You know, all the cool jobs. If you're one of those folks who knows they'd make a good business leader, then our technology management department is for you. You get to pick your favorite technology field, and then we will train you how to be a top-notch manager in that specialty. So if you're looking for a great education, a great job, and a great place to live, work, and have fun, come join us at Utah Valley University and in the College of Technology and Computing.
TNC, what are you gonna be?
Hey, I told you that was some pretty cool stuff. You saw him on tape, now you see him live. This is Dean Michael Savoy of the College of Technology and Computing. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate the time.
Not a problem, Jim. Pleasure to be here with you.
All right, we saw the departments on tape. Now tell me what exciting is going on in TNC real time.
Well, I can tell you we're doing some really cool things. We've got a great program in digital media and digital cinema. We just brought in one of the best, most state-of-the-art sound stages, virtual sound stages. We've located at the Wasatch campus. We're now partnering with the Park City Film Studios. And we're putting together some really great feature films. We've got Hollywood directors and producers coming in to help us.
Wow.
So we're really excited about that program. We've got some fantastic things happening on campus. Our computer science, information systems areas are both booming. Our student population is up. Employers are here. We've got jobs. We've got internships. It's really an exciting time to be part of the college.
Now, you talked about the digital media guys. They do this thing on campus called engaged learning, and I don't know if the folks at home know this, but the students are manning the cameras, they're pushing the buttons. Look, here's a live shot of the control room.
There they are.
Yeah, all of them are there, and they're not eating pizza. That's a good sign.
Yeah, that is. That's a great sign. And it's one of the great things about the program here at UVU is that we do engage learning, like you said, and our goal is to have the students come into classes, they learn the theory, and as soon as they have the theory, then we want to put them in the labs in the real-time environment. So, like you said, pointing out the guys that are here at the basketball game. I mean, these are UVU students learning the theory behind filmmaking, behind television production in the classroom, and then getting right into the thick of things, learning how to do it hands-on. And that, to me, is just absolutely critical.
And then, of course, our favorite department of all, and I hate to say this, we're looking at some of the digital media guys, as I'm going to talk about culinary arts.
There you go, yeah. You know, if you like to eat, we're the place for you. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we've got a great program in culinary arts. Some of the top student chefs in the nation are located right here. Our faculty is beyond anything that anybody can put in front of the students. I mean, all of our faculty are practicing chefs. They've been corporate chefs. They've been catering chefs. They work at Sundance, at the different resorts. It's just fantastic having them here.
All right, here's the list of the 9 departments housed in the College of TNC. Culinary arts, computer science, construction technology, digital media, IS, which is information systems, engineering, graphics, and design, which is like drafting,
right?
Automotive technology, technology management, engineering technology. You know, we don't have time to talk about all of them, but automotive technology, one of the best programs in the country, I'm told.
Absolutely, one of the top, arguably one of the top 2 or 3 programs in the nation. You know, we've run some commercials. If they've been watching the basketball game, they saw our Wolverine car out at the Salt Flats. You know, we hold 5 land speed records. Yeah. Students get to work on that. You talked about engineering, design, and technology. What a lot of people don't realize is that we've got some of the top 3D printer technology in the world sitting here at the UVU campus.
That's amazing, really.
Yeah, I mean, the students, and it's not stuff that the students walk by and it's behind glass somewhere that the faculty are working on it. This is stuff, the students are working on it every day. They're doing designs, they're scanning the stuff in with 3D scanners, and they're printing out their own programs as they're working through the programs here at UVU.
Now, you mentioned earlier employers are on campus. Is that true, or are you just blowing smoke?
Nope, I'm not blowing smoke. We've had almost 100 companies here just in the last probably 4 months.
Wow.
We had a tech fair. We had 70 companies at the tech fair coming in to look for our students. You know, we're pushing in some of the programs, like I said, computer science, information systems. We've got 100% of employment of our students before they graduate.
That's amazing right there.
Yeah, I mean, it is truly a real sweet spot for the college. The employers like what our students do. They love the fact that they have hands-on experience, and they're coming here to hire before they go anywhere else.
All right, they're telling me we've got like 30 seconds. You're a big sports guy. What do you think of the first half?
I love it. Fantastic. Love UVU. Love being at the basketball games. Couldn't be prouder of the way the team is playing. And we'll be hopefully for a just as good or better second half and walk out of here ready to head into the NCAA tournament. That'd be great.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, you're a pretty good analyst. Dean Michael Savoie, College of Technology and Computing. Thanks for taking the time.
Not a problem, Jim. Great seeing you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
We're going to step aside for a quick break. When we come back, we'll update you on the stats, and then our second half coming your way next, right here on UVU TV.
I felt that the MBA offered me the most in terms of what I could do with it once I graduated. It's international recognition. I could go to Europe, Asia, South America, and people recognize the name MBA. It means that the person that holds that degree has a certain level of understanding of business management concepts and practices, that they can understand what it means to follow best practices in accounting or marketing or sales, and I wanted to have that associated with my name.
Well, the goals that I achieved by enrolling in UVU's MBA program were primarily to gain a CPA so I could do more for customers in terms of going beyond bookkeeping. I also just wanted to make a change in life.
My main reason of why I ended up pursuing it was because of marketability. I wanted to be marketable in case I wanted to say I want to do something different down the line. And getting the MBA opens up those doors if you want to take that change in your career path.
Halftime, Wolverines leading Chicago State by 14. Battle for first place in the WAC. All right, we've got some highlights queued up of that first half, Matt. I'm going to let you walk our viewers through this.
Yeah, we saw a lot of really good things. And I think a theme will be Wolverines going to the basket. We'll see a couple of three-point shots here, but Wolverines have done a nice job from their perimeter players of driving to the basket. Hayes Garrity had some really nice shots inside there, and of course the finish right before the first half from Zach Nelson. So we don't ever show defensive highlights, Jim, but I wish we would, because that's where the Wolverines have excelled tonight. It's been all defense all the time in the first half for UVU.
26% shooting for Chicago State in the first half. Is it a fact that they were ice cold, or the fact that the Wolverines really did play that good of a defense?
I think it's probably a little bit of both. I mean, I don't think it was entirely the Wolverine defense, but you don't go 26% from the field, 18 from the three, and 3 of 6 from the free throw line without feeling or having some type of defensive pressure played against you. So I think the Wolverines can be credited with a spectacular effort in that first half, and if they can continue that on into the second half, it's going to do them wonders.
Wolverines shot lights out in that first half. At one point, they were at 70-something% about halfway through that first half. They finished at 13 out of 23. That's good for 56% from the field, including 6 of 13 from beyond the arc.
Well, and a point too, Jim, on the season, Chicago State shoots 43% from the field, and they shoot 38% from the three. Free throws is a little bit lower at 68%, but on the season, that's a better sample. They're 43% average. They're being held to 17 percentage points below their season average. So that doesn't happen unless maybe you have an off night, which I think they've had, but we've seen the effort and the intensity that the Wolverines have played with.
Chicago State will start the second half with possession. Hunsaker, Brunel, Aird, Enos, and Nelson. Same 5 that started for Utah Valley in the first half start the second half. Three-pointer.
I mean, you'll notice from the defensive point that most of the shots are contested. There hasn't been a lot of easy, wide-open shots, and again, another contest from Keave.
Look at Mitch Brunel explode down the baseline.
So just patience on offense, ball movement, and when the opportunity is there, take it. And strong drive baseline for Mitch.
Brunel's got 7 points. Nelson had 7 in that first half. Garrity with 6. Aird with 5, Enos 5, and Hunsaker 4. Jumper outside for 3. Pippen, yeah, he will put it up and keep putting it up.
Yeah, and that time the Wolverines, I'm not sure what they're trying to do schematically, but whether or not Mitch is trying to fight over the screen or if Ben is switching on. But Ben gave too much space there, and that allowed Pippen to rise up for the 3 because Ben got switched off on him.
Brunel misses from the corner. Chicago State with the rebound. Well, they're 1 of 3 to start the second half.
Yeah, same exact play. Screen on the ball. Ben maybe a little bit late on the rotation out there. He did challenge the shot, but Pippen with the miss.
Zach Nelson for 3. Chicago State on the run with it. 2 on 3. Wisely, DeMarcos slowed it down. Pippen, you're going to have to play him tight. He will put it up anywhere.
Well, and he loves coming off of the screens to his left. I don't think we've seen him once come off a screen to his right. So, again, another attempted drive mismatch, and you get this 1-2-2 pressure that's going to be a trap somewhere along the sideline, and it's randomly going to come. There it is in the corner.
Wolverines turn it over. Chicago State 3-on-1. Charge is the call. Holton Hunsaker, savvy senior. He knows where to be all the time.
And just watch the lateral rotation there. I think Chicago State is upset because they thought Holton may have had a foot in the paint. We didn't see the replay of his feet. Excuse me, not a foot in the paint, a foot in the restricted area there. But nevertheless, Holton, you see that movement that he has getting set.
Okay, Enos baseline drive. He hits the deck hard. He'll shoot 2. Duhan was called for that last charge. Now this time, Nate Duhan again.
Yeah, the offense, as we see the replay here, you know, Pippen closing out. Nice job, Keave, giving a pump fake and driving tough. The Wolverine offense against the zone has led them into that corner a couple times. You had Mitch Brunel get the ball in the corner drive. Zach Nelson got the ball in the corner. He shot the 3. And that time Keave gets the ball in the corner. So they're seeing something there against the zone.
Keave Enos, senior out of Mesa, Arizona, served an LDS mission in Jackson, Mississippi. Gets them both. 13-point lead for the Wolverines. They've led by as many as 18 in this game. They have not trailed. Chicago State, though, showing some signs of life coming out of the locker room. Ben Aird not in the game right now for UVU. Chicago State going inside.
Yeah, that was a good pass. I think you get that ball inside. I believe it was
DeMarcos.
DeMarcos with the finish. I think it was Duhan that was initially posting up, and it's a nice dish off.
Brendan Evans not able to handle the pass from Holton. 7th turnover for the Wolverines. Both teams with 7 turnovers apiece.
Yeah, it's a little amazing what happens when you can get a couple baskets offensively. You can get something going, what it does for your defense too, because it's been a little bit different in the start of the second half here as far as Chicago State's defense.
That time Rosenberg trying to drive on Holton Hunsaker, and Hunsaker being whistled for the foul that time. His first. Two-shot foul put Clark Rosenberg at the free throw line. He's 1 of 2 from the stripe tonight. Chicago State 3 out of 6. 10-point lead for UVU now. 39-29.
The two leading scorers, I mean, you have Pippen, Rosenberg, and Ross are the three leading scorers for the Cougars. I think you're going to see a lot of them in this second half. They know that they're going to have to be the guys offensively if they're going to fight back in the game. So the ball will be in their hands, and they're going to make plays.
Holton tried to kick it outside to Keavianis, intercepted by Duhan, and they finish it off inside with Rosenberg. That is 5 straight points for Chicago State. Coach Dick Hunsaker doesn't like what he's seeing, calls a timeout.
Well, and just the emotion is completely different from Chicago State's side than in the first half.
Wolverines leading by only 8.
To the young ones, the small ones, the ones they had planned on leaving in their shadow. I know your determination, your heart, the need you have to prove something, the sweat, the miles, the hours that stretch into days, and nights, and years. I know because I've been there. And now is ours. The earth and the sky are ours. And this is where you belong. Join us. We're waiting for you. And so are they.
Chicago State trailing by only 8. They're coached by Tracy Dildy. He played college basketball, University of Illinois, Chicago. Finished there with the 8th most assists in school history, 260. This is his 4th year as head coach at Chicago State. He's been named several times in the top 50 assistant coaches in the country. He's been all over the country as an assistant coach. This is his first head coaching job, though. And Tracy Dildy's got Chicago State headed in the right direction, both on the court and off the court. Their academic performance just shot through the roof when he arrived. And that's what you like to see when you hire a coach.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you want to see him succeed on the court, but you know they're going to be doing other things after basketball. That's always great to see.
Yeah, you found that out, huh?
I did. Yeah.
Doesn't last forever. All right, we'll see how the Wolverines can handle the pressure. An 18-point lead is down to 8. Hayes Garrity misses from outside. Rebound comes down to Chicago State. Wolverines have been outscored in this half 10-4. Just the first 4 minutes of the second half. Five seconds on the shot clock to work with for Pippen. They barely got it off in time. And a foul inside on the rebound goes against Mitch Brunel of Utah Valley. That'll bring us to another media timeout. 15:29 to play. Wolverines hanging on by just 8 points.
I had an idea. Lots of people have ideas, but engaged learning helped me develop my idea and make it real. And now with sales over $1 million, best assignment ever.
going to see the replay here. The best defensive possession to me for the Wolverines, but they get bailed out here, or you see Mitch Bernil grabbing the arm of Jared DeMacos underneath. So that's a killer play for the Wolverines because they got the long jump shot from a big guy. Just bailed him out with the foul there at the end, and Chicago State gets another possession.
Well, after a pretty good first half of shooting, saw the Wolverines shoot 56.5%. They start the second half shooting just 1 of 4. Meanwhile, what a turnaround. Chicago State in that first half, 25% shooting. They're 4 of 7 in the second half. That's 57%.
Yeah, and one of the great lessons I learned from Coach Hunsaker was that every team's going to make a run, and it seems like this is Chicago State's run. So the Wolverines just have to withstand that, knowing that this is going to be their run.
Offensive foul on Pippen. Saying he was throwing a little elbow, trying to get some room, some separation there.
A little too physical, a little too aggressive on the post up. I think he got the elbow high around the neck area, which probably eased the official's call.
That's the third foul on Pippen, their leading scorer, who's got 11 points. Keavi for 3. Bottom.
Great patience, great movement. You get that ball at the high post against the zone. It gives the high post guy so many options. He can shoot it, he can pass it, he can drive it. And you get active wings finding their space, and a big shot from Keavi.
First Wolverine in double figures. Driving, throwing up the shot is Rosenberg, fouled by Keavi Enos. Keavi's second personal, team's third here in the second half.
Yeah, that is such a tough call. Watch Keavi. Keeps his body in front of him. I mean, he's leaning away. I'm not sure where the foul is there. I don't know what you ask him to do in that situation, to do anything differently. I think the official called body contact, but Keavi was leaning back, falling away when the shot went up, and he wasn't moving into him, so pretty good defense there from Keavi.
Back to a 10-point ball game. Chicago State at the free throw line now, 5 of 10.
Yeah, I think the motion against this zone from Zach and Ben is going to be critical, because the Wolverines are facing this pressure and these traps on the perimeter. If they can get that ball inside, then they're going to have an advantage.
Zach Nelson. That's a 3 from the corner for the freshman.
Yeah, nice job outside Mitch Bernil around the half-court line, keeping his composure. Once you can break that initial trap, it's like a fast break, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, whatever you want to call it, because the defense is scrambling, and Zach makes him pay.
45-32. Tipped away, but a foul inside, going to go against Utah Valley. That one is going to be called on Zach Nelson. His first. Team's 4th of this half. 14 minutes left. Utah Valley, first place in the WAC, undefeated at 5-0 in conference play. Chicago State 4-1, behind UVU by just 1 game. .15 seconds on the shot clock. Ben Aird with the rebound on the miss.
Yeah, great defense there. Chicago State's trying to drive with their guards, but the perimeter players and really every player is doing a nice job of not allowing easy baskets to the easy shot attempts at the rim.
Wolverines, good ball movement. Ben Aird, big man, can make an outside jumper.
Yeah, if teams are going to pressure, if they're going to, Chicago State is going to continue trying to trap and extend this pressure. The Wolverines just have to take care of the ball, because once they move it and they're unselfish with it, they're going to get great shots, and that's the last 4 possessions what they've had.
7 points, 9 rebounds for Ben Aird. Outside jumper will not go for Duhan. Rebound comes down to UVU. Garrity fouled as he was quickly bringing it up. Nate Duhan going to be called for the foul, and if so, that's going to be his 3rd. Quentin Pippen already has picked up 3. It is Duhan. So now 2 of their players with 2 fouls each, or excuse me, 3 fouls each.
And on the defensive end, the Wolverines have really ratcheted up their pressure too. Chicago State not getting the easy shots like they got. And this offensive lineup has done some good things too. I think it looks like Chicago State going back to a man-to-man defense out of the zone. And they get a turnover.
Over and back, 9th turnover for UVU. Well, it looks like the Wolverines survived that 10-4 run. You were talking about Coach Hunsaker teaching you that every team has a run. 10-4, that was a pretty good run, but now the Wolverines have come back with 8 points of their own.
That's every team. You know, every team seems to, at most points, every team seems to make a run, and you have to have that understanding, and you just got to fight through it, and the Wolverines have answered it with a run of their own.
Pippen gets the jumper to go. 47-34, 13-point UVU lead. Wolverines have not trailed in this basketball game. In fact, the score's never even been tied. Wolverines jumped out front 7-0. Led at halftime by 14 points. Outside jumper won't go. Ben Aird with his 11th rebound, but throws it into the arms of Rosenberg. Here's a 3. That will go for Matt Ross. And Coach Dick Hunsaker calls a timeout once the Wolverines came down with that rebound.
I think Coach Hunsaker's a little upset at this point with Ben. I think the reason is because he got that ball inside and he brought it down. As the big guy, you're taught, well, if you're in the paint, if you're in the paint there, keep that ball high. Don't bring it down to allow guards to come in and swipe it away.
Well, Coach Dick Hunsaker has been around coaching over 30 years, 379 career wins. He's 12th year here at UVU, 3 times named Great West Conference Coach of the Year. It is his son Holton Hunsaker there that he's talking to right now, starting point guard, senior, who has started 114 straight games here at UVU. He's never missed a start in 3.5 seasons.
I miss being in those huddles. That's.
I bet you do. Your ears are probably burning from just watching it.
Yeah. I've had that talking to one or two times. Again, the man-to-man pressure. Wolverines handle it well.
12 seconds to shoot. Hunsaker takes a 3. Chicago State with the rebound. And a whistle before Pippen can get to the hole. Hand check foul. Going to be called against Mitch Bruneel.
And I don't know how many times we've seen that after a missed shot transition on the left side of the court for Pippen going to his left hand.
3rd foul on Mitch Bruneel. 47-34, Wolverines by 13, back in 60 seconds.
I'm Joe Luce, an anthropology student at UVU, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm sharpening my mind and my skills.
Wolverines are 5-0 in the WAC, but the next 3 games are all on the road at Pan American next Thursday, and then a week from tonight at WAC favorite New Mexico State. following week at Grand Canyon before returning home on February 13th and 15th. That's Thursday and Saturday for Seattle and Idaho. Wolverines have 10 games left after tonight in the regular season, and then the WAC tournament in Las Vegas, March 13, 14, and 15. And the winner of the WAC tournament goes to the NCAA tournament. Still a lot of basketball to play before then, but there's a lot of excitement on this campus right now about their Wolverines, who are leading the WAC with an unblemished 5-0 record. That was the third foul against Mitch Brunel before the break. He's the first Wolverine with 3. Pippen and Duhon have 3 each for Chicago State. 11 minutes to play in this one. 13-point lead, making an 11-point lead.
What a drive there from Clark Rosenberg. Hayes Garrity thought that he was going to take the screen and come off of the screen, but when he saw Hayes kind of shading that way, he just took that ball away, and what a finish from Clark.
Holden Hunsaker's had a very quiet game, 4 points. Defense has just been all over Holden. Ben Air misses the jumper, and Zach Nelson pulls down the rebound.
Yeah, good flash there from Ben. You love that shot because we know he can knock it down, and you got to relieve the pressure, and your big guys can help in doing it. So a great look, and opened up inside for the offensive rebound from Zach.
15 seconds on the shot clock. Inside to Big Ben. Up and under.
Yeah,
under and up.
Yeah, what a move. Again, we see this play so often from Ben inside. He works so hard before that ball gets to him to post up on the duck in inside, seal off the defender, and that time he uses the up and under move.
Jumper for 3 outside. That one's good. Corey Gray.
Well, Chicago State sticking around. They're doing what they can. I think a huge key for UVU is taking care of the ball. You know, they cannot turn that ball over and give Chicago State an opportunity in transition, because when they take care of it, they run their offense and they get great shots.
Ben Aird. All sorts of contact inside and no call. Ben stays down, slowly gets up. Chicago State coming back the other way. Turnover.
Nice awareness there from Mitch Brunel. That was a weak pass. Attempted to go to Pippen there, but nice job of Mitch seeing that ball and snagging it.
Ben Aird will take a 3. Missed that one. Tracked down by Chicago State. Wolverines just 5 of 16 from beyond the arc, but Chicago State 4 of 16. So neither team really lighting it up from 3-point land. Garrity with the 30th rebound for UVU tonight. They had 50 on Thursday. Mitch Brunel directing traffic. 8 minutes left. Garrity won't go. Chicago State basketball. Rosenberg not there. Crashing the boards hard though was Matt Ross. Went up over the top of Holden Hunsaker, and Hunsaker will be called for the foul. That'll bring us to a timeout. Wolverines leading by 10, 49-39.
Come join the student section and cheer for the Mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
They say the devil is in the details. And in here, there are a lot of details. Flavor, color, texture, temperature, presentation. It all has to be flawless. Pressure? Maybe. But with engaged learning, I get a lot of practice. And I'll bet your homework never tasted this good.
The Wolverines of Utah Valley leading by 10. They led by 14 at halftime. They've been outscored by 4 here in the second half. That's due to Chicago State really shooting much better in the second half. They had 25.8% shooting in the first half. They're up to almost 47% here in the second half. And UVU's cooled off a little bit.
Yeah, it's really almost turned into a defensive game, right? I mean, I know we expected a close game and a tough game, and usually when you have that combination, it's because your defense is leading the way. Talked about how the Wolverines did in the first half, but Chicago State has answered here in the second, and both teams slugging it out. Hasn't been pretty offensively.
Pippen will trigger for Chicago State. Rosenberg. Ben Aird blocked that one.
What recovery coming out of his area. Now, that's what you love. Chiave with pretty good defense, but Rosenberg got the shot, but Ben comes out of his area, help defense with the block.
Ten seconds to shoot. Holton in and out. Still just one basket tonight for Holton. You're just waiting for him to start lighting it up. UVU. Seems like they're hanging on to this lead, doesn't it?
Yeah, pick on the ball. Pippen coming off to his left. He dishes that one off, doesn't pass it.
Well, there's Matt Ross, 6'8" senior out of Dixon, Illinois, slamming that one home. Back to an 8-point lead for the Wolverines is all.
Excuse me, I meant he didn't shoot it. He did pass that one off, and strong finish there from Matt Ross.
6 points for Ross. Pippen and Rosenberg, the only two in double figures for Chicago State with 13 apiece. Keavi, Enos, and Nelson with 10 each for UVU.
Yeah, and this defensive pressure from Chicago State has really stifled UVU in the last couple possessions.
Fadeaway jumper. Mitch Brunel hustling. Keeps that alive for the Wolverines.
Yeah, Mitch is unbelievable from the wing position as far as an offensive rebounder go. He's usually in there coming up with the rebound, at least attempting it, or he's in the action every time offensively on the rebounds.
Hunsaker driving in, drawing the foul. Holton will be at the free throw line, shooting 2. That foul going to be called against Matt Ross. That'll be his third. So now Chicago State with 3 players with 3 fouls each.
Yeah, and it can't be overstated. You see a nice move there from Holton. Matt Ross in his way. He finds his way around him, but you can't say enough about it as far as the pressure that Chicago State gives. Taking care of the ball is the #1 key. Secondly is staying aggressive. Don't let that put you in a position where you're not as aggressive as you need to be. That type of play right there from Holton, where he has that pressure and he drives. He could have had the 3, but he drives. That's the mentality and the mindset that has to be there.
I didn't say a word that time.
You didn't.
I didn't say a word.
You didn't.
Do not blame that on me. Jumper outside for 3. And Zach Nelson with a rebound. And a little foul in the backcourt against Nate Duhan. Duhan's just picked up foul #4.
Yeah, and those are killers, and it's so unnecessary. I mean, you like the the intensity that he has, or the effort that he has on the full court pressure, but that's just a silly foul. You can't pick up a foul in that situation because you get the Wolverines one foul closer to being in the bonus, and you pick up another personal foul.
Hunsaker with it. Working against Pippen. Inside, outside. Boy, they collapse quickly on Hunsaker. Ben Aird, look at that little jump hook.
Yeah, what a shot there. Love the offensive possession there. Inside, outside, inside again. Ben shoots the ball before the double team comes over. A much needed basket, and you know, you got the two seniors, Holton and Ben, working the ball inside and out.
11 points, 11 rebounds for Ben Aird. Meanwhile, Chicago State missing. Zach Nelson had it momentarily. Pippen puts up the three. All sorts of contact going on here.
Yeah, that's going to be a foul on Clark Rosenberg.
Yep. Rosenberg picks up his second foul. Clock stop, 4:44 left. Wolverines by 11. That is the 7th team foul against Chicago State. So we'll walk back down to this end, and Holton Hunsaker will be at the free throw line. Now, do I talk about it or not?
I'm not going to say anything.
Holton Hunsaker, one of the best free throw shooters in the country. We'll have another one.
Yeah, it's such an asset to your team when you have players that can go to the line, even though the Wolverines haven't shot it real well tonight. But as you mentioned, as a team overall, they've been really good at shooting free throws, and you know, they're going to be in the bonus last 5 minutes here. Each time they're able to draw a foul.
Wolverines 10 of 18 from the stripe. It's just 55%. It's a team that on the season shoots 76% from the free throw line. But the most important stat is that one up on the scoreboard. It's a 13-point lead for UVU with 4:40 left. Duhan stays out there with those 4 fouls. Well, they seem to be calling this thing pretty close all of a sudden.
Yeah, and it's just these fouls. I mean, Chiave, nice job forcing Duhan baseline. You see him talking to Coach Hunsaker there. But yeah, tough situation. You know, Chicago State as well. Wolverines with 17 fouls. Every foul that they get, they're going to the line too.
Both teams with 7 fouls each. That was the 3rd foul, by the way, against Chiave Enos. So Mitch Brunel, Chiave Enos with 3 each for Utah Valley. Meanwhile, for Chicago State, Ross, Pippen have 3. Duhan has 4. Still got 4:35 to play here at the UCCU Center.
Yeah, and be ready if the free throw's made. Be ready, or maybe even miss for the press. They're in it. It's not really a full court press here. It's more like a 3/4 court, because as soon as Holton gets it to that 3/4 court mark, that's when the press and trapping's coming.
Wolverines do break the press. 15 seconds on the shot clock. NBA 3. Won't go. Chicago State basketball. Demakos dishes. Rosenberg finishes.
Yeah, that's how you run a transition offense. Unselfish play, a lot of passing, and eventually the cutter gets rewarded.
A bit of nervousness here in Orem, Utah right now. An 18-point lead is whittled down to 10. Chicago State, they're 4-1 in the WAC. They've won 3 of those on the road. Here's their next 5 games. They're going to be at Grand Canyon. Or no, excuse me, they'll be hosting Grand Canyon and Kansas City. They're on the road at Texas Pan American and New Mexico State, and then hosting these very same Wolverines of Utah Valley on February 20th. Up in Chicago, where UVU has just struggled the last couple of seasons. So kind of important to win this one for UVU.
Yeah.
on several levels.
Yeah, exactly. More points or more reasons than we can probably name the importance. Now you get Chicago State with a full court trapping defense. No surprise coming out of the timeout, but they're going to keep this up.
3:45 left. Wolverines by 10.
And offensively here, Jim, the key is don't let that clock run down where you have to be forced into something.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Ben Aird has it stripped away. Big man started a spin move, couldn't finish it. And driving in and one is Clark Rosenberg. And all of a sudden, 5 straight points have pulled the Cougars of Chicago State to a 54-46 deficit. We'll take a break. Back with the finish of this one on UVU TV.
To the young ones, the small ones, the ones they had planned on leaving in their shadow. I know your determination, your heart, the need you have to prove something, the sweat, the miles, the hours that stretch into days and nights and years. I know because I've been there. And now is ours. The earth and the sky are ours. And this is where you belong. Join us. We're waiting for you. And so are they.
Back at the UCCU Center, Jim McCullough along with Matt Peterson. Wolverines this half, 33% shooting. Meanwhile, Chicago State clawing their way back into this thing, 45.5% shooting. Wolverines haven't trailed in this game, but this thing feels a lot closer than the scoreboard looks, Matt.
Yeah, going back to what we kind of talked about, every team makes a run. Well, Chicago State made a run at the beginning of the half. The Wolverines answered it with a run of their own. Now Chicago State making another run with a chance to cut it to 7. One thing that I've noticed is the tendency a lot of times is when you have a lead, you tend to stall offensively. It's almost like what we've seen tonight. The Wolverines in the last couple possessions have just stalled. They've been out of their offense. They've tried to use the clock, which is fine, but you can't get into a situation where the shot clock is running down on every single possession because the defense knows that you're going to be shooting it. So I would look for the Wolverines to be more aggressive on offense earlier in the shot clock, because they cannot just keep that ball around the perimeter and pass it and catch it, because they haven't converted, and Chicago State has, and that's what's giving and allowing this run.
Rosenberg's at the line. He's got the hot hand. 17 points for Chicago State tonight. Missed that one, and Ben Aird pulled down his 12th rebound. There's that. Hunsaker trying to call a timeout. Did he get it?
No, they're giving him a jump ball. You know, on that possession, Holton was left in the backcourt. There was no help. You got to have a release. You got to have a help in the backcourt from Holton. That time he didn't have it, and you're going to get a foul on Pippen here. Man, their intensity has been really impressive here. But see the replay on the jumbotron here, but
that's the 4th foul against Quentin Pippen. Well, we told you in the pregame show, if you joined us late, that these two have been known to have some pretty physical battles. And it looks like the last 3 minutes and 17 seconds of this thing are going to be more of the same.
Yeah, it's going to be about the fundamentals. It's going to be about no turnovers, making free throws, rebounding. And another missed free throw. Very uncharacteristic from UVU as a team.
They're 11 of 20 from the free throw line. Coming up on 3 minutes left here at the UCCU Center. It's an 8-point game. First place in the WAC on the line. Rosenberg trying to make something happen, and Ben Ayer is going to be called for that foul. It's going to be his third.
Yeah, what you have here is, you know, I don't think Ben needed to give as much help as he did. Watch Matt Ross come up and set the screen, and you see Ben stepping out to try and block the path from Rosenberg, but Holton had gotten underneath the screen and was in position. Of course, Ben wasn't able to see that, but that's the type of communication that's so vital at this point in the game.
Rosenberg makes the first, he'll have another. He's 4 of 8 from the free throw line now. He's got 18 points. Rosenberg came in here averaging 13.8 a game. Misses the second. Keaviina skies for the rebound. It's a 6-0 run for Chicago State right now. Hayes Garrity into the game for a little speed and ball handling. Can the Wolverines hang on to a 7-point lead? 15 seconds on the shot.
See, this is what I was talking about. I mean, you're running down the clock. Hopefully Hayes can make a play here.
Acrobatic move. He'll be at the free throw line shooting 2. Foul is going to go against Amakos. His second, team's 9th.
Yeah, what a drive here from Hayes. This is being his first year playing for the Wolverines. I think he is going to be a very good player for years to come. Because of plays like that, he can create his own offense, and good grief, another missed free throw. But Hayes, Holton, these guards for the Wolverines can create their own offense. It's just they haven't been able to make a free throw to save their life.
They are 11 of 22. They've only hit half their free throws tonight, and yet they still lead by 7 with 2:20 to play. Matt Ross with the drive and one.
Wow.
Holton Hunsaker. Foul number 3.
What a finish. I mean, this is, you get Matt Ross with the drive, Holton coming over. And look at Matt keep his eyes up and on the rim, and blocking foul there on Holton. Chance to cut it to 4.
8 straight points from Chicago State. Wolverines haven't scored a basket from the floor in 3 minutes.
Wow, and Chicago State isn't doing themselves any favors. They've missed plenty of free throws on their own.
7 of 16. Wolverines break the press this time. Under 2 minutes. 5-point lead. Hunsaker slammed to the floor hard. Ross was there. Picks up the foul. That's his 4th.
Holton with the strong drive. You know, I don't think anything malicious there. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I thought
Matt Ross is 6'8", and Holton Hunsaker is 6 foot.
Yeah, clearly a foul, but nothing intentional in my mind. Just not going. You know, he's going up there. He's not going to allow an easy layup, and he didn't do anything beyond just an ordinary foul. What makes it look worse, of course, is Holton falling to the ground as he did.
8 points for Holton Hunsaker tonight. That stops an 8-0 run for Chicago State.
I think that type of play, Jim, is going to be what you're going to see in the last 2 minutes here for UVU. The ball's going to be in Holton's hands. It's going to be in Hayes Garrity's hands. And it's going to be that action, driving to the basket.
Holton got them both. 7-point lead with 1:52. Chicago State trying to milk the clock for every second they can. Ross. There's another 3. Wow, they couldn't hit him in the first half. Second half, they've hit 3 out of 9 at least.
Yeah, and you're going to get Coach Hunsaker go and talk to Holton and Zach, because somewhere along the lines there was a miscommunication, because Zach's man went up to set the screen. It looked like he had the intention that he was switching on the play, but Matt Ross popped and nobody went to him, and that's where he got the open three. So again, another communication breakdown, which are, you know, the worst types of breakdowns that you can have, because either you switch it or you don't.
It's a 4-point game with 1:46 left. Both teams in the double bonus. Every foul will send somebody to shoot 2 free throws. 3 Chicago State players have 4 fouls each. Keavi Enos has 4 for UVU. Only 1 timeout remaining, though, for Chicago State, and that could factor into this thing. Wolverines break the press. Zach Nelson, the freshman, drives to the hole. He was going to go up with 1 and slam it. Fouled on his way to the rack. And he'll shoot 2.
Yeah, gathering himself, eyeing the rim, going up with the intent to slam it home, gets fouled. But
Rosenberg, foul number 3.
Yeah, and that's what you have to have against pressure. You know, there comes a point where you're trying to use the clock, and
what in the world is going on?
You just throw your hands up in the air, and that's how I feel too. Man, this is just so unusual.
13 of 25. Folks, this is the, what are they? 11th best free throw shooting team in the nation, and tonight, not even close to 11th in the nation. Zach misses them both. He's 0 for 4 from the stripe. 1:23 left. It's a 4-point UVU lead. Ross. It's a 2-point game. A 10-4 run right now for Chicago State. Excuse me, a 10-2 run.
Yeah.
1:08 left. UVU is killing themselves at the free throw line. Second half shooting, Chicago State 13 of 25. That's from the floor. That's 52%. This thing may end up going overtime, and if so, all sorts of players are playing with 3 and 4 fouls. That's going to factor in. The Wolverines want to win this thing in regulation. I mentioned in the pregame show they love low-scoring games. I don't think they love low-scoring 2-point games when they led by 18 points in the first half.
Yeah, especially when Chicago State is carrying all of the momentum. So let's see how they respond. That's what basketball and sports are all about, the competition and how you respond.
Hunsaker draws the double team over to Keavi. Under a minute. Hayes Garrity, 3 guards in the lineup for UVU right now. .15 seconds on the shot clock for UVU. Whoa, there's some contact out front from Johnny Griffin. I think he was put in the game just to commit the foul.
You know, if I was Coach Dildy, I would just be kicking myself right now, because again, that's a foul you just cannot make. You know, there's aggression, but there is no need to commit that foul that far away from the basket. Now,
Hayes Garrity makes a free throw.
Yeah, if Hayes were to miss him, then maybe you'd reconsider, but that's just not a foul that you can commit and put Hayes at the line.
Hayes Garrity 1 of 3 from the stripe. UVU this half 8 of 14 from the free throw line. Second one. Oh my goodness. It was an adventure, but it went in.
And the Wolverines have been doing this the last couple possessions. They're switching. Mitch Brunel coming in for defensive purposes. Hayes goes out. For offensive purposes, Hayes come in. Mitch goes out because Mitch is guarding Pippen at this point.
Rosenberg takes it to the hole, and Ben Aird fouls him. Stops the clock with 39.1 seconds left. 4th foul on Ben Aird.
see, Holton's looking for that screen, and Rosenberg just takes the ball away from the screen. I mean, that to me is a no call there. I mean, I understand that Ben is in the way, but he jumps straight up in the air, and all the contact is created by Rosenberg. I'm not trying to be partial there, but to me, that's just a no call.
Rosenberg, 4 of 9 from the stripe tonight. Make it 5 out of 10. Three-point game.
Yeah, make or miss here. You got to be aware of the pressure. Make sure you get the ball inbounds, and you're going to have to take a shot. 39 seconds left in the game, 35 on the shot clock. So, you know, at some point you're going to have to take an offensive shot.
Rosenberg misses. Zach Nelson with the rebound for UVU. Put it in the hands of Holton Hunsaker, their best free throw shooter, and he's fouled immediately. 35.4 seconds left.
Yeah, big rebound there from Zach. Doing a nice job once he gets that ball, knowing that perimeter players and the defense is going to be swiping away at it, and you get your guards coming to the ball. So Holton ends up at the line.
Foul was on Rosenberg. That's his 4th. Chicago State has 4 players out there on the floor with 4 fouls each. Hunsaker, free throw.
And that was interesting. I don't know if the thought was from Coach Dildy to foul there. You know, they would have had, you know, if they got a stop, they would have had 4 seconds left on the clock, or roughly. So I wonder if it was the intention to put Holton at the line.
Well, he makes them both. He's got 11 points, and 9 of them have been on free throws.
Yep. What you're going to get here, Jim, either Pippen with the ball, Rosenberg with the ball, and it's going full steam to the basket.
Rosenberg. Oh, he pulled up, gives it over to Pippen. Rosenberg for 3. Nope. Mitch Brunel tracks it down. Pippen's got 4 fouls. He didn't want to foul him. Finally they do, just to stop the clock with 16.4 seconds left. You're going to give the foul to Matt Ross. That's going to be his 5th. He'll foul out with 13 points, 11 rebounds. But it's going to put Mitch Brunel at the free throw line for the first time tonight. Mitch Brunel, the junior, out of Boise, Idaho. Hey, you know what happened a week ago tonight, or last Sunday rather, in Seattle? Mitch went to the line with Wolverines down by 1, and Iceman nailed them both, and Wolverines ended up coming from the dead to beat Seattle.
How fitting.
People all over America are saying, Jim, just shut up. Mitch Brunel. Wolverines have missed, well, a lot. I'm not even going to. We'll talk about it in the post-game show for a second. Second free throw, Brunel. Missed them both, but Zach Nelson got the rebound for the Wolverines, and Holton is fouled just to stop the clock by Rosenberg, who's just fouled out with 19 points. Their leading scorer had to foul Holton Hunsaker with 13.1 seconds, and that's going to put Holton at the line, where Holton is 9 of 11 tonight. Holton Hunsaker 11 points tonight, tied for team high with Ben Aird. Nelson and Enos with 10 each. Garrity 8, Brunel 7. Since the 5-minute 13 mark, the Wolverines have scored 7 points, all at the free throw line. Well, 13.1 seconds to play. Finally, somebody's got the hot hand from the free throw line, and who else would it be other than Holton Hunsaker? 11 of 13. He's got 13 points. He's the leading scorer for the Wolverines of Utah Valley. 7-point game.
Yeah, you know, Chicago State's going to come up a little bit short, but what a valiant fight and effort that that they put in. I mentioned at the either in the pregame or right as the game was going to start, that it was going to be tough, physical from the tip to the last whistle. And wow, has it ever been that? You know, what a great game to watch. And it wasn't always pretty at times for either team. And from UVU's view, you know, again, it doesn't always go your way, but you battle it out, and they're going to come away with the win.
Long three. Hunsaker with the rebound. They will not foul him. That's how this one is going to end. The Wolverines hang on. And they are in first place by 2 games in the Western Athletic Conference. Wolverines now 12-7. They're 9-1 at home. But most importantly, they are 6-0 in the Western Athletic Conference. A 2-game lead over Chicago State, a 2-game lead over New Mexico State, and a 2-game lead over Grand Canyon. That was going into tonight's action. 62-55 the final here. All right, we'll take a commercial. We'll come back and wrap this one up. Wolverines win it in a thriller.
People talk about life after college, you know, entering the real world. But this is engaged learning. I'm not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. I'm learning by doing. I'm at UVU. I'm in the real world every day.
I'm Sylvia Bentley, an anthropology student at UVU studying ancient Peru, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm graduating with a diploma and a resume.
Back at the UCCU Center, Jim McCullough along with Matt Peterson. Utah Valley wins this one 62-55. When people see this score tomorrow, Matt, in the newspaper, they're going to say, well, it doesn't look like much UVU had much of a problem, but this was a much closer game, especially in the second half.
Yep. And you know, I can't overstate it. It was a fight. I mean, both teams fought. It's the history between these two teams. The team made a run. The other team made a run, back and forth, and the Wolverines come out with the victory. And wasn't how they drew it up, but you know what? You take a win any way that you can get it, and the Wolverines made the plays when they needed to. Chicago State, unfortunately, did not. So just a very, very nice job of gutting out another win. And you know, it's an indicator of what the Wolverines are going to have the rest of the conference season. I mentioned it after the Kansas City game. You're the undefeated team. Everybody's going to be coming at you no matter where you're playing. So, you know, I'm very proud of the Wolverines and how they went about the business and their business and won tonight.
All right, the Wolverines now have won 7 games in a row. Their longest winning streak of the season.
Yep.
They're 6-0 in the WAC. And now, you know, you want to talk about this one, but boy, that road trip looming next week.
Yep.
Texas Pan American, very tough place to play on Thursday. And then at New Mexico State, a place the Wolverines have never been. But all right, fine, let's talk about this one for a minute. 7-point victory for UVU. Matt, I'm going to let you look at these highlights and tell the folks what we're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of good teams from, a lot of good plays from both teams. You know, the Wolverines kind of had to do some different things offensively because Chicago State threw so many different defenses at them. So you see at times the ball really going inside. You see the ball working around on the perimeter when Chicago State was in a zone. So, you know, credit to them. I mean, Chicago State threw a lot of different things at them, and it is tough when you have a defense going at you for the full length of the floor for virtually the entire game. It's tough on the defense, but it's also really hard on the offense. So here we take a look at those highlights, and you know, saw a lot of different things, and it's what we're becoming used to from the Wolverines.
I know a lot of friends and family around the country watching their Utah Valley players tonight. Let me update you on the scores. Dick Hunsaker, 13 points tonight, and 11 of those were from the free throw line. Holton leading the scoring attack for Utah Valley. 11 points for Ben Aird, 10 points for Zach Nelson. Keavi Enos finished with 10. Hayes Garrity off the bench with 8. Mitch Brunel finished with 7, and Brendan Evans with 3. Meanwhile, Clark Rosenberg led the way for Chicago State with 19, 13 apiece for Quentin Pippen and Matt Ross. All right, that's going to do it for us with Utah Valley. 62-55 winners. Utah Valley solid in first place in the Western Athletic Conference with a 6-0 unblemished Western Athletic Conference record. This one has been a lot of fun. Our thanks to all the folks that made this possible. This game was produced by students from the UVU Digital Media Department. It's been a copyrighted production of Utah Valley University and the Wolverine Sports Network. For Matt Peterson, I'm Jim McCullough saying so long from Orem, Utah.